last night. I said this in my opening press conference in late '06. It's okay.
Just a couple steps.
My apologies for not being able to speak French. So fire away in English.
Well, first of all, we can't escape it. What is the league's view on the officiating? It's been quite problematic, I'd say, so far this season.
Well, you know, officiating in our sport's imperfect, and I think everybody knows that. We are the only league, along with the Premier League, that has an organization that is working to make it better, that the league is involved in, partnership with the CSA and U.S. Soccer. So assessment and training and evaluation is all pretty new. It's only a couple of years old, with a leading league with a handful in Europe to work on video review. So the best thing that I could say is we all want to see perfection with officiating, and it's an imperfect process. So all we can do is try to get better, and then to the extent that we'll be able to use technology to ensure that we can correct when an official makes a mistake.
Fans were kind of hoping that an AllStar Game announcement would be called.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I didn't know about it until I came up here. We've made a commitment to Montreal and Vancouver that we will bring an AllStar Game up to each of these cities, but the teams are going to do it when they think it's right for them. Here in Montreal, there's a lot more work they're trying to do with the city, with the corporate community, even with their fans, to make this team more popular. And when Joey and his staff are ready to do it, we'll be the first ones that will work with them to make it happen. I will say next year on the 375, we're looking to do something with the impact to get our league involved in the celebration, because I know it's an important moment for the city and for the country.
What do you have in mind? What do you have in mind?
You know, maybe that's something with an international club. We're going to work with the impact to figure that out, but we will do something on the 375th.
Well, it's great to have a player like Kaka and the designated players here. When you have a guy who's making more money individually than more than half the teams in the league, is there a concern about how that impacts other teams as far as a competitive level?
Well, and I think if you look at the game here today, you've got two teams with very high-priced players, and both of them are fighting for playoff spots. So I don't think that there is a competitive imbalance with the designated player. We've seen that just by tracking the data. We're going to continue to work on a system that ensures that every team in the beginning of the year has an opportunity for their fans to believe they could win. The smart are going to do better than those who make bad decisions, and we have a unique system that can allow that to happen. So I actually feel pretty good about our competitive balance, and you look at our track record over the last 20 years, it's proven to be so.
With international windows still affecting teams heavily losing their best players despite the small breaks that you've implemented, are there any other changes coming?
You know, it's not perfect, right? You know, we were all watching the Canada game and watching the Mexico-Honduras game, and now we have a big game here in Montreal. I'm actually quite pleased with the crowd. So we all, as you know, particularly up here, have challenges playing games at times of the year when the rest of the world is playing. I think we need to continue to jam it all into the best possible competitive format. We've taken more and more of the FIFA windows off as breaks, and I think you'll see more of that in the years to come.
Do you receive any complaints about the clubs considering the traveling with the planes that are not chartered? Is it something you want to improve throughout the next?
So, you know, listen, everything with us is about what do we need to do to get better? You know, how do we raise the quality of play? How do we invest more in our academies? And as you know, here they've got nearly $20 million invested in a facility and have academy teams to U8, right? So everything has got to go into the pot, and you got to make your decisions. So our teams have got to decide whether or not charter travel is a bigger priority than perhaps investing in the academy programs to make the Canadian player better. And all of that has got to get squeezed into an affordable budget so that we can continue to succeed as a league. I will say charter travel is less of a priority than investing in academy programs.
As you travel around the league, what impresses you most when you come here to Saputo Stadium?
Enormously passionate fan base. I think this is a great stadium. It's perfectly sized. We're on a Wednesday night and 17,000 people are here. But mostly it's this. You know, this is a soccer country. This is a soccer city. And I travel around now 20 markets, soon to be 24, and I don't have a scrum with 50 reporters here. So this is it's a great market for Major League Soccer, and Joey's doing a good job.
So speaking of Canada country soccer, it's been 10 years we have an
almost 10 years Canadian soccer teams. What can MLS do more to help the Canadian soccer team as a whole? So things like last night go further.
Sure. So, I'll say 10 years is actually a short time. Look at, you've got the World Cup of hockey going on. You guys know how long the NHL has been around. We've only been here since '07, right? And in this market, in Vancouver, 11 and 12. So, very short period of time that we have academy programs and development programs that are going to help, from a professional investment perspective, support what the CSA has been doing for many, many years. It's heartbreaking to see what happened last night. I said this in my opening press conference in late '06. Until Canada qualifies for the World Cup, I will not consider that me as commissioner, or myself as commissioner, have completed the job. So my fingers were crossed to at least get into the Hex, and we're going to have to wait 4 more years. So we're working closely with the CSA. For all of you who don't know, Victor's a great leader. Peter's doing a good job. We're working more closely with them than ever before. We've got a number of different programs that we've been working on for the last year. Before the end of the year, I expect Victor and the league and Peter be able to announce some of those initiatives. The league needs to do more to help grow the game here, but we need to have a closer partnership with the CSA, like the partnership we've had for the last 20 years with U.S. Soccer. That's just going to take time and a little bit of growing up together.
Don, Forbes released a list of MLS team valuations today, and it showed that the average valuation is up 80% from 2013. What do you think when you see those numbers?
Listen, I wish that those numbers were about profitability and not necessarily about value or perceived value. I think it shows that this is a league on the rise. From an investment perspective, it's good to be long on Major League Soccer. It's a good investment in professional sports. But most importantly, in the U.S. and in Canada, this is really the last professional sports league that still has its greatest amount of growth in front of it. So we still have not been able to capture the massive opportunity that exists in Canada and the United States with all the soccer fans here who have not yet converted to MLS fans. And when we close that gap, then you're really going to see the value proposition change dramatically. And I think with real support. Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for supporting us.